Good morning, everybody on my social media. Listen, I want to talk about something that's been coming in from people in my audience, from even some of my coaching clients that I've been hearing y'all been saying, like, either in your job or in your business, whether it be with clients, people on the internet, or just people that you work with. When you have somebody that has power, a powerful person, somebody that is in authority, doesn't like you in some way, they don't approve of you, they don't think that you're good enough. And how do you deal with that, especially when they can make your life, quote unquote, a living hell, or they can cause problems for you? You could even lose your job or lose a contract. And I have some experience in this because I used to be that person that felt like there were a lot of people that were powerful people around me that were coming against me. And throughout the years, I can look back to all of these different circumstances and moments where I told myself that that was what was going on. And so that's why I really feel like I can speak to this for you, because I come out on the other side of this. I still have moments of experience of this where I feel that way, but I remind myself of these truths in that moment. And the first part of it is it has to do with how we see ourselves. Do you see yourself as less powerful than that person and their opinion? So that's the first foundation, okay, right? The other thing is that you're putting way too much weight and stock into another person's opinion or belief about you. And I know that can be difficult to break free from. The other thing could be as well that you may be, and I'm not saying this is for everybody, every situation, but I know that this was the case for me in some situations, perceiving that somebody doesn't like you, or perceiving that by filtering it through past experiences. I've done that, where I had a very negative experience with one person over here, and then there's a very positive person over here that I was projecting this negative experience onto this person. And I promise you, as I got to know this person, they were not that way at all. They were like the complete opposite, right? So I was projecting, and that was very unfair to this person over here. And I, apologize for that and really realized, okay, maybe I was actually the one being a jerk to this person over here during those moments. And so, like, these are all things, if we can look at ourselves, we have to realize it all comes from how we see ourselves, how much we accept ourselves, how much we believe in ourselves, how powerful we believe that we are ourselves as a powerful person. At the end of the day, yes, there are situations where this happens. And I've experienced those as well, where you could lose a job or something like that. You could get fired because somebody is a decision maker on this. And at the end of the day, you're going to have to just kind of accept that that's a journey. And maybe that was a blessing for you. That's what I've had to do in those situations. You have to accept that that's a blessing, that whatever happens in those situations happened for your benefit, and shift your perspective to where it's not that you're like worried and fearful. Because I've seen sometimes where people will try to make sure that they don't piss off this person and don't get fired and things like that. And it actually causes a much worse situation for them. You're constantly stuck in your head. You're constantly walking on eggshells. You're constantly people pleasing. And at the end of the day, it comes back to people pleasing. We're trying to manage and maintain other people's opinions of us. And really, we're just trying to control another person. Now, that's where we realize it's impossible to control other people. You can't control how another person acts, how they talk with you, how they perceive you. You can't. You literally can't. And the effort of trying to will always end up in failure. And so as soon as we give that up, as soon as we just step into our own power as a powerful person, to walk in our fullness, believing in ourselves, believing in how adequate we really are, and then saying, hey, listen, I accept myself. We're not going to say this to this person, but internally, your own internal self-dialogue. I fully accept myself. Have some affirmations that you speak over myself. I am a powerful person. I am not allowing other people's opinions of me to decide what I can and cannot do and how powerful I am in these situations. We don't need to power over other people, because that's just as bad as what, people are doing to us. Instead, we stand firm in our own internal power as we are, And if somebody's going to act that way, really honestly, act like a child, because that's really what it is. Act very childish in that way towards us. Let them and move on. Bless them, blow them a kiss as you're leaving. Like really, that's the best thing to do in those situations. If somebody's coming at you, they're coming towards you, they're trying to cause problems for you. Boundaries are so important. Having healthy boundaries, setting boundaries. You're the one that decides how much energy you give to another person. You're the one that decides how much you allow another person into your life. I don't care what situation you're in. And that's the mindset perspective that we got to shift on. I know there's a lot of layers to that, right? As far as like work situations, things like that. But it always ends up coming right back to what I just shared with you as the truth, is that our personal power is what we need to step into. We need to know who we are. We need to know whose we are. We need to know that other people's opinions about us don't have power over us. And we get to walk in our power every single day and choose, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be joyful. And no matter what's going on around us. And at the end of the day, here's the thing. You don't owe anybody your energy in reciprocation for their toxicity, right? You also need to check yourself if you're projecting negativity onto somebody else based on past experiences, and maybe heal through some of those things. So you may have this story that you're telling yourself about somebody, and it could just be a projection. And so we need to really make sure that we're looking at truth. We need to make sure that we are believing truth, that we're affirming truth over ourselves, about ourselves, and truth about you doesn't come from another person's opinion of you. I'm going to say that again. The truth about you doesn't come from other people's opinions of you. People can say things all day long. That doesn't mean that they're true. Now, if you're a jerk, if you're a crook, you're doing something wrong, and people are saying this stuff about you, okay, like that's the truth, right? But if you know that you have integrity, you're in the right place, you're not doing anything wrong, you don't need to prove or validate that to them either. They don't need to believe that about you for you to be a powerful person. Their beliefs about you have no impact on your future as long as you walk as a powerful person. And at the end of the day, one door might close and another one might open to a better opportunity for you. That's what always happens, especially when we surrender the need to control situations, when we surrender the need to make sure that things go our way and we accept things as they are, and we step into being a powerful person by believing in ourselves. That's why self-image, self-belief, believing in yourself, and believing that you are powerful in all situations, even if another person believes something, or even if you're projecting something. And finding somebody that can help mentor you through some of these things is valuable. Finding even I know it might be taboo to some people, but a therapist or somebody that you can talk through some of these things as well. Some of them come through some deep rooted stuff that maybe was from childhood that we're projecting, or it could be from a past job that we're projecting. Or you could have had a past job with a coworker that you're then projecting onto every other job after that. And we got to work through forgiving, not like saying it's okay what they did, but listen, that happened, and I can go forward as a powerful person and learn how to read the red flags and respond differently in future situations. And that's what allows us to be powerful people, no longer victims to what happens around us, but stepping into that place in our lives. And so, listen, I believe in you. I know that if you're dealing with any of this stuff, I know it's hard from either side. Even if it's the projection thing, right? That's actually difficult. It feels very real. I was one that dealt with that for a while. Even if it is happening too, I'm not saying it's all in your head. I'm not saying either of those things are the case. It's usually one or the other. But at the end of the day, it's all about self-control. It's all about controlling your thoughts. It's all about controlling what's going on between your two ears and controlling where you put yourself. What you allow in then comes out. And at the end of the day, we need to fill ourselves up with more positivity, more empowerment. Spend time around people that encourage you and raise you up, not just the other people. And you're going to notice that your life will change in a positive way when you do this, when you put this all together for you. So